Hey guys, in this episode, we're actually going to be talking about finding your dream home. Continue to watch the Buyer series. This will be episode 2.
Hey, welcome to The Buzz, Coffee and Real Estate. We just wanted to invite you into episode 2 of our series on buying a house, sort of starting at ground zero, everything you need to know. So just in a quick review, episode 1 was before you ever tour the first house. Here are the steps. There were 4 primary steps. Put you in a good foundation for being pre-qualified, knowing what you want. Right. We're ready to get out and take a look at homes. So yeah, let's jump in. What does it look like as far as your first thoughts, your first steps on, we're actually going to go tour a house?
Yeah, so the first thing you got to do, one, is you're going to kind of start with your realtor. So in episode 1, we kind of talked about that. Picking your realtor, interviewing them, and so forth.
Yep.
Now that you've picked somebody, you need to figure out how you're going to find homes, right?
Okay. Which statistically, 90+% of people are looking online.
That's right.
Yep.
So there's a couple formats. You've got a realtor's website, which is what we have.
Yep.
It's connected to the MLS. It updates on its own, everything like that.
What'd you say, 5 minutes? Every 5 minutes it's
Yep.
updating. So it is super up to date.
Yep, that's right. And it's going to eliminate, this is one thing I do like about our site, is it eliminates anything under contract or pending. So you're only seeing active listings, whereas on Zillow, they're going to show you pending, they're going to tell you solds and so forth. So sometimes people get confused by that. Especially if you're new and you've never purchased a home, then you definitely could fall in that category.
And Zillow is the monster out there. You know, Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, Realtor.com, some of the big sites. Their search engines are somewhat limited. I mean, there are criteria you can put in, but there's not a ton of criteria you can put in. So it really does give you some limitations on what you can find.
That's right.
So that's why we typically will set someone up with a custom search on our site. But you may have a real estate agent out there that's got a different system. But really what you're saying is most people are seeing stuff online. They're doing that research there, taking a look at pictures, preliminary information, all of that.
Yeah. So you're going to have kind of first initial step is set you up on our website or set yourself up on a search for Zillow or whatever the case may be. You're going to start, saving your searches. So that means like, hey, here's my criteria. And if we're your realtor, then we're going to set that up for you.
Sure.
So you're going to have, I'm going to be in Alamance County. I'm going to be 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I want a first floor master. I want an acre of land. Whatever the case may be. We're going to set that up. So every morning, 6 a.m., you're going to get an email. And that email is going to tell you this is the houses that are new to the market in the last 24 hours.
So you don't have to be on Zillow 15 times a day.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you can save that web link, which we'll send you, so that you can see everything in your demographic. So you, like, for instance, if I'm checking Zillow every 10 minutes, you can just click the link and you'll see everything in the MLS that's available, and you can kind of scroll through those. And because their houses are going to come on market throughout the day.
Sure.
You could do that. So if you want to say, hey, every 2 or 3 hours, I'm going to check it.
Yeah.
Great. You'll know what's new.
Right.
Most of the time, there's 10 to 20 homes that are going to be in your demographic.
Yeah.
So I would say that's a big thing. The other side of that is you can favorite things on our website, and it'll send us a link and say, hey, they favorited this. You can also schedule a showing, which will send us an email to schedule.
Yeah.
So I think that's the first kind of step is the internet search, getting all of that set up. And making sure that you're getting all the information that you're supposed to be getting.
Right. So the other part of that is you may drive by a house.
That's
and
right.
You may have, hey, I see a for sale sign. Mary Smith is selling this house. Don't call Mary Smith. She works for the seller. Her whole job is to get the highest sale price with the easiest terms for her seller. And so you really don't want her representing your interests as well because she's got a huge conflict of interest. She's split. So you really want to say, hey, I saw this house. I need to reach out to my representative, somebody who's on my side, my team, understands my situation, and is looking for the terms that are most attractive for me.
That's right.
And so then we're going to go in and schedule. Sometimes you can do overlapping showings. Sometimes they don't allow overlapping showings. Just depends on the seller and the listing agent's preferences. We had a situation yesterday where we showed up and there was a block party. It was like
5 agents,
4 or 5 agents, 4 or 5 clients all walking through this house. It was very, very popular. But understand that you may have other people there, you may not have other people there, and if that's a big deal to you, you need to let your real estate agent know your preferences on that.
Because you're going to have in-depth conversation that you don't want that to be exposed to other agents or clients for that matter.
Sure.
I think that's huge. Like I say, next step would probably be going ahead and scheduling a showing. So as a realtor, what we're going to do is you're going to send us that link. We're going to look it up. We're going to for me, I throw it up on my big screens. I look at the house, I kind of analyze through the pictures, see what there is, see if there's anything I can identify from pictures that are problematic. And then I'm going to disclose that to you. I'm going to pull the MLS sheet.
Okay.
I'm going to pull disclosures.
Which has more information than what you can find on the public websites.
That's right. So you're going to have your MOG, which is the oil mineral rights, so that you know what's in the ground is yours.
Yep.
You're going to have your residential property disclosure, which is going to then tell you anything that the seller knows about the house that's problematic.
Okay.
So age of roof, HVAC system,
plumbing, electrical,
all the different components,
yeah.
so that you know, okay, this is what I'm getting into.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes they mark that as no representation because it's maybe it's a rental property that they're selling, or they haven't lived in the house in a long time.
Or they genuinely don't know.
Or they just don't know. Or they inherited, trust, things like that. So we're going to give you all that information, or at least have that at your
fingertips.
At your fingertips to be able to see.
Yep.
And then we're going to schedule the showing for a time that works for you and for us, and then we'll go and we'll see the house.
So really good to kind of be in this thought process. When you pull up to the house, a couple of things to think about. What does the micro neighborhood look like? What do the neighbors look like? What does directly across the street look like? Kind of like if I was standing on the front porch, just what I could see. Because sometimes you got nice neighborhoods that got bad pockets.
Yeah, that's
or
right.
you got sketchy neighborhoods, but they've got really nice pockets where you got a group of people that are really taking care of their stuff. And so that's a good first impression.
That's right.
What's my initial thought of the house? We like to do an exterior walkthrough.
Yep.
Let's walk around the house. Let's start looking at structure. Let's start looking at drainage for water.
That's right.
All those sorts of aspects.
Well, totally. I mean, the first thing I'm going to do is walk the outside, look at brick, look at roof, look in the crawl, look at all the systems, and see what kind of conditions they're in.
Yeah.
Because those are your big, quote unquote, issues. Like if you have a structural issue, or you have a roof issue, or you have HVAC.
Right.
Those are big dollar amounts.
We would love to know the age of the HVAC. We would love to know the condition of the crawl space. Do we have moisture? How does it smell? All those sorts of things. So after we get done with the initial exterior, then typically we'll go into the house. And for instance, the house we went in yesterday, the bones of the house just seemed to check out.
Yep.
But gosh, the paint colors were horrific. There was like the walls had been yellowed. We didn't smell a lot of smoke. I thought it was smoke smell, but I didn't smell a lot of smoke.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Typically it's stuck in the carpet. You'll know if you walk into a smoker house. But it was so yellowed. You've said sometimes depending on what people cook in the house can affect it. But you could tell where they pulled pictures off the wall. Like the white wall was white, and then it was yellow all around this perfect square. So it was rough. But I mean, really, cosmetics.
Yeah.
It was all cosmetics.
Yeah.
Large kitchen. You're looking room sizes. I mean, if you're going into something that's move-in ready, you want to make sure that it's truly move-in ready. Let's make sure the quality of workmanship, all of that. But this particular house yesterday, as an example, was not move-in ready.
Oh yeah, this was an investment home.
This was an investment home. It had a ton of equity potential.
Yeah.
So new carpets, new floors, maybe we open up a wall, maybe we redo the kitchen countertops, and then we have a house that's really beautiful, that's worth a whole lot more than what we bought it for.
That's right.
So yeah, you're going to have a lot of that in the market where you walk in and you need to be able to see it using your imagination.
That's right.
Otherwise, you're going to walk in and say, this smells bad, this looks bad, and turn around and walk out. So yeah, I think as you're walking through the house, you're really trying to picture yourself in each room. Where would I put my furniture? How do I navigate walking into this ensuite bathroom? Do I feel like that this works for me? Is it a bathroom that can be reconfigured to maybe get a larger shower or more vanity space? Or am I pretty much stuck with what I have? Can you rearrange structure? Or is it pretty much just like walked in a house several days ago, a Carolina Tar Heels blue toilet.
That's right.
I mean, it was amazing. Ugly. And so, those things are totally fixable, totally changeable. And it's one of our specialties as well is we work with contractors that do every conceivable thing.
That's right.
And we're looking for people of integrity.
Yep.
Just like we talked about in episode 1, lenders of integrity who do what they say they're going to do on time. Those are the kind of contractors we're partnering with so that we can connect you with them so you can get those jobs easily taken care of.
That's right. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I would say your next step is kind of what's first impression.
Okay.
Like we've walked the outside of the house. How do you feel about neighborhood? How do you feel about what's going on here?
Yep.
Do you see any red flags so far?
Yeah.
Then let's go in the house, walk it.
Yep.
See, identify. Same thing. I'm doing the same thing I did outside, inside. What do I see as problems? And I'm going to course, disclose that to you guys. Hey, I think these are some things we need to be aware of. And then we kind of talk through, like, especially if it's a fixer-upper house, then it is, well, what do you think about repairing these things? Is that going to be inside your budget? Is that going to work? And so forth. And so I think those are pivotal. And then actually kind of talking through the process. Like, so this is where they're at. Like, when we went to that house, 2-3 hours later, they sent out a deadline. Hey, here's the deadline. You got to have your offer in by X time frame.
And that house is not going to sell for the list price.
That's right.
And we don't know exactly how much higher, but we've got a kind of a general idea of how much higher it's probably going to end up selling for. So here's another thing, and I would just counsel you if you're talking with an agent, and let's say you're doing a working interview with them. Okay, they're going out showing you houses. You've not signed on the dotted line with them, which is what I recommend you do. Okay, if you're working with us, do not have somebody shove paper at you before you see how knowledgeable they are walking through houses. But we're going to walk through the house with you, and you want to make sure that your agent is not trying to push you into a particular house. Okay, we're going to be talking about what we like about the house, what we don't like about the house for your situation.
That's right.
We are not trying to push you towards a particular builder, a particular seller, a particular listing agent, none of that. If we are, then all of a sudden we've moved into manipulation, not into consulting. And that's really, really important because, and we'll do this in a whole other episode, but like the way the commission structures are set, sometimes you'll have low integrity realtors.
Oh, totally.
And they're pushing you towards something that's going to make them more money.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, ask them that question. What is the commission on this house? What's the commission on the 3 houses we just looked at?
Right.
Because if they're pushing you a 3%er house instead of a 2%er house, or even in some cases a 1%er house, then you need to have that conversation.
Absolutely. So that's just something to dig into there. But all right, so quick review. We've talked through making sure that you are looking for homes effectively.
That's right.
You're receiving homes that fit your needs. You're scheduling showings correctly. Actually getting into onto the yard, around the house, inside the house, viewing it through the eyes of what could this be for my family, what can be changed, what can't be changed, and then really kind of the takeaway. Hey, is this a house you feel like could work? We always counsel people, don't schedule 8 homes in a day.
That's right.
And it's really nice if the market is in such a way that you have more than one home to see, because it's just, the comparison is so good.
That's right.
And I know you stick with about 3 homes. That's the sweet spot, because it really allows you to have that, too big, too small, just right sort of feel. And I like that too. It's a good blend, it's a good balance. So that kind of wraps us up of what we're doing today. You have any other thoughts kind of in conclusion on this?
I would say the big thing is don't settle. Don't settle for a house just because you're desperate. It's better to wait 2 weeks and find the right house than to buy the wrong house and regret it for the next 10 years. So I would say that's a big piece. Find your dream home. And that may mean that you're updating or you're doing things to it or whatever. But if it can become the dream home, great. But if you can find the right one, then do that. Don't just settle. That's probably the biggest thing. I see that a lot, especially over the last 18 months. We've seen a lot of buyer's remorse. A lot of people are scared of, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to sell this house. I bought it for way more than I should have or whatever. So I would say just, go into it with some caution, but use wisdom.
Absolutely. All right. Sounds good. Well, we'll see you on the next episode, and we'll jump into the next chapter.
Cool deal. Make sure you subscribe. Leave us a comment. Hit that bell on notification on any of our new episodes. And let us know if you have anything else that you want us to talk about in these episodes.
Okay.
Love you guys. We'll see you soon.